Do you hear me?
I hear you.
And your headache?
It's subsided for now.
Good. When we left our last session, you were telling me of Edward's travels.
Yes.
Let me remind you, Mr. Langham, that it's important for you to remember every little detail. We want your headaches to come back. Now, would we?
So can I continue now?
Of course.
When it was 1938, an archaeological expedition was sent to investigate a secluded area of the Bayan-Kara-Ula Mountains on the border that divides China and Tibet. The archaeology group discovered a series of caves at the summit of the mountains. The caves contained a large collection of graves, and the walls were decorated with countless drawings of people with elongated heads, together with images of the sun, moon, and stars. The archaeologists uncovered the graves and discovered the remains of ancient beings. The skeletons were little more than 3 feet tall, with abnormally large skulls. More importantly, inside one of the tombs, a collection of stone discs were recovered. The discs were almost 12 inches in diameter, with a hole in the center. The objects had a groove on the surface of the disc and spiraled outwards from the center hole, forming a double spiral. Closer inspection showed that the grooves were actually a line of small carvings and signs.
So, what was the importance of these stones? What did they signify?
Well, the discs were dubbed the Dropa discs. Subsequent investigations have found approximately 715 stones in the Bayan-Kara-Ula mountain caves. The stones were sent to a variety of scholars for investigation. One of them, a Professor Sun Nui of the Beijing Academy for Ancient Studies, found that the spiral grooves were actually a line of characters written in an unknown language. In 1962, he announced that he had managed to translate the language. This, however, is impossible. You see, when we consider the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, we know that for many years they were untranslatable. This is, of course, until the Rosetta Stone was uncovered. The stone held the key to deciphering the language of the ancient Egyptians, and so, where is our Dropan Rosetta Stone? Professor Sum Nui is a liar and a crow. We still do not understand the meaning behind the stones. For many susceptible humans, the Dropa resembled extraterrestrials. Sickens me. Although they were almost pygmy in design, I remember Edward talking of a propellant, as he called it, the fountain of youth, with one blast to return a man into a Dropan midget.
And you believe that Edward traveled to this ancient world and became a leader to the Dropa?
I know that it is true. I remember the footage of his findings. I remember the doors to the inner sanctum. I remember their design. You see, Edward was their god. He was tall compared to the Dropa. This would instantly reward him with a godlike position. He found the unfindable. He would be remembered as the last king of Shangri-La.
That will conclude this morning's session. Oh, and please, Mr. Langham, if you remember anything else, please do not hesitate to tell the nurse immediately.
There are many myths that I can tell you about. Legends, ghost stories, banshees, the molten, and more. However, these things will come at a price, my friend.
Continue the treatment. Continue the treatment.
It's up to you now. This is in your hands.